What's up, everybody? John Sharmiho here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an EP review to do for you, and I'm going to be talking to you about the new EP from the band And Hell Followed With, entitled Chimerical Reality. This is released on Hollowed Records. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of Detroit, Michigan, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very traditional, aggressive, melodic style of deathcore. Yeah. My first introduction to this band was their 2010 second full-length album entitled Proprioception. That is an album that has stuck with me very, very well all the way leading up to where we are at now. Everything about that album personified what was so good and pure about the early days of deathcore. Memorable guitar riffs and leads, awesome drum work, great guttural vocals, great lyrics, amazing artwork. That album is so fucking awesome. I still hum the opening riffs to In Vastness I Transfigure very, very much, and I had the honor and privilege of getting to see that band almost a decade ago at the White Rabbit. I believe it was them, Ion Dissonance, Arsonists Get All the Girls, and Within the Ruins. That was one of the first extreme metal shows that I had the chance of getting to attend and getting my toes wet in attending metal shows locally, and that was a really, really memorable show. But yeah. In getting to listen to Proprioception, it only made me go back further and realize what an amazing band And Hell Followed With were. Of course, they had put out an album prior in 2008 called Domain, which is an awesome, awesome record in its own right, but I honestly felt Proprioception was the superior record in many more ways than one. And then in 2012, from what I remember, this band pretty much dissolved. It ended. The band ended. The band ceased to exist for a really lengthy period of time. But ever since then, there had been a lot of rumblings and talkings about a potential reformation of the band, a new lineup, new music, new riffs, new this, new that, and slowly but surely everything began to set into place for what was going to be soon to come from And Hell Followed With. There was the announcement of a new lineup, a new frontman, but of course there would always be the original remaining member, Patrick Hahn, whom, if I'm not mistaken, is the guitar player for this band, and he pretty much put the wheels together for something brand new to come from And Hell Followed With, and I was very interested and very excited to hear and see how things were going to work out for this new full-length effort. And now, almost a decade later, we have a brand new offering from And Hell Followed With entitled Chimerical Reality. It's only 6 tracks, and it clocks in at around 23 minutes in length, and pretty much you can tell that even from them being away for a really long time, you can easily tell that the spark and the fire is still there. The magic is still there, the musical abilities are still there, and this is a very, very strong and convincing return to form for And Hell Followed With. You can tell in certain bits and pieces that this is some brand new material that's being worked with here, but it has that old school, classic, And Hell Followed With sort of edge going on for it, and I think it really shows throughout the majority of this EP. Musically, this is just sensational stuff here. I love the guitar work that's being done throughout the majority of these songs. A lot of grittiness, a lot of melodic technicalities going on. I really appreciate what's being done here with these riffs, especially on the first couple of tracks with the title track and not the title track, Empty and Hollow, and The Notion of Freedom. Then later on throughout the record, you get more of that cutthroat sort of guitar style going on with those tracks, and it's really awesome, especially towards the title track and the closing moments of this EP with the track Dear Father, which is probably one of the more emotionally stirring sort of tracks that you'll hear throughout this record. It's all a big lead up to a grand finale, and that is a very, very satisfying grand finale with how the music works out on Dear Father. It's a really amazingly well composed track. The bass work on here is very good too. It definitely stands out on its own, aside from the really, really top-notch guitar riffs that you hear throughout this record. It's really, really sensational stuff. The drumming on here is just as in-your-face and as intimidating as any previous And Hell Followed With release. A lot of blast beats, a lot of great composition work, a lot of great pacing. Really well done drum performance going on here. And when it comes to the vocals, of course, this band has had its fair share of vocalists in the past, but this new guy here, I definitely think carves his own niche with his own unique sort of vocal stylings. You get some really low, intimidating guttural vocals, some very awesome mid-range sort of growls. There's a little bit of screams here and there, but this is a primarily mid to low growl sort of vocal performance going on here, and I really appreciate his own blending of diversity when it comes to the vocal stylings. Of course, if you know And Hell Followed With, you would know the vocals to have a little bit of a range between really low to really high vocals, but this new vocalist has his own, like I said, he has his own sort of niche and his own sort of style, and he accomplishes things very, very well here on this EP release. With the opening track is a great example, and then once again going to the last track of Dear Father. It's just some really top-notch vocal work going on here. So overall, this has been well worth the almost decade-plus long wait in waiting for new material from And Hell Followed With. Hopefully this is the start of better things to come. Hopefully there'll be more new music, more chances for them to play across North America or tour more. I know they're going to be doing a string of tour dates very soon. I know they just added Nick from the band Igian into their band lineup, which I think is a really, really awesome addition. Nick is a great dude and definitely a very, very welcome addition to this band. But yeah, And Hell Followed With are back. If you're a fan of deathcore, if you're a fan of the early old guard style of deathcore, And Hell Followed With will definitely scratch that itch for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you some links in the description box as to how you can get a hold of this EP and listen to it. I will leave you a link to the Hollowed Records Bandcamp page where you can listen to this EP in its entirety, hear it for yourself, and be your own judge as to whether you think it's worthy being purchased or not. You can stream it by digitally, and it is available physically as a CD. There are also merchandise options available, and like I said, this band will be doing a string of North American tour dates. Hopefully this is the start of better things to come. So again, the EP is Chimerical Reality by And Hell Followed With. This is released on Hollowed Records. Definitely check this one out. And for a score, I'm going to give this a very strong 8.5 out of 10. Very, very welcome return to form for this band, and I'm very excited for them to have a continuously bright future. So if you happen to have heard this EP, definitely let me know what you think about it and how you feel about it, or any of you guys into And Hell Followed With, definitely let me know. I'm looking through this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. Until next time, Army out.